Okay, so we're learning about the color wheel today, and you are going to get your own color wheel. You're also going to get a wedge shape like this printed off on regular copy paper, and you're going to create a design. Now, I've created several different designs. It could be a picture of something, an actual picture of something, or it can just be a design. There's several different designs that I did. But there needs to be at least 3 different spaces, okay? Obviously these ones have more than 3 spaces, okay? Because each one of these shapes would be a space, and then the background color would also be a space. Same with the, so this was geometric shapes. With the organic shapes, also, each one of these shapes would be a different space you could color in, including the background. And for this more realistic one of a landscape, the tree would be a space, the grass would be a space, the little river, the sun, and the sky would each be spaces too. This would be a space, the negative space of the peace sign would be a space, and then the actual peace sign itself. But I'm just going to use this one for my demonstration because it's very simple and won't take too long to show you. Now, once you've designed it, please have me check your work and make sure that you've got 3 spaces and that it's something that you'll want to do over and over again. Because what we're going to do is we're going to put this design in this space 6 times. So this design will repeat itself 6 times in a radial pattern. To do this, we're going to use something called carbon paper. Now, carbon paper is an old technology that they used before copy machines to make copies of things. And on one side, it's just black, and on the other side, there's going to be some words. This one says value on it, okay? It's a little bit slicker too, and I have them cut into squares instead of wedge shapes, so you will need to line it up with the edge of the paper, and you're going to get a piece of tape here, and you're going to make a tape roll by rolling the tape up, and then stick it on the back side someplace where the pencil mark is not, so that because you're going to have to go over the pencil mark again and again, and you don't want to do that and have the tape in your way. So I'm just going to stick it on the edge where there's no pencil mark, and then I'm going to line it up with the edge of my carbon paper carefully, just like that. If you'd like the teacher to check that, then that's fine. Then you're going to line up the edge of your wedge with the edge of the wedge on the big piece of paper. Then you're going to get some colored pencils, and it really does not matter in what order you're going to use these colored pencils. What you're going to do is you're going to go over your lines in colored pencils, and the reason you do it in colored pencil is so that you know where you have been, and you're going to do that repeated every time. So let me show you. And what's kind of magic about carbon paper is when you lift this up, it gives you that image. So then you're just going to rotate this, and then I'll get a different color. So I use blue for this one. I'll get a different color. Use green. Use orange. And then that way I just sort of know where I've been. Okay, so now that you have this all drawn out, you're going to create your color wheel, and you're going to create 3 different shades of each color. Now, you are going to use white to make it lighter, so let's go ahead I'm going to do that. Well, first, I'm going to start with yellow. It's my first one. And I'm going to put that one in the middle because I want it to go from lightest to darkest. So I'll put the normal color in the middle here. Careful to stay inside the lines. Then I want the lighter color. So I get some white. I get my white ready. Now if your white is a little bit messed up, get it nice and wet and then get a paper towel or tissue and wipe that away. You just get a paper towel, it can just be folded, and you just wipe away any muck that's there. So I'm going to get some yellow, put on my white. Now to make colors darker, you are not going to use black. Let me show you what happens when we use black. If you use black, especially with yellow, to try to make it darker, what ends up happening is you end up getting this green instead of a mustard color. I'll use this scrap of paper to show you. Yeah, it looks like a green, yucky color. So don't use black. What we're going to use instead is the opposite color on the color wheel. And that is a good way to make darker colors without using black. And it does a better job too. I'm going to get this all clean. Now, the opposite color of yellow is purple. So we need to add purple into the yellow to make it darker. Now, we don't have purple on this palette, but that's okay. We know how to make purple. We add a little blue. Then we're going to add a little red. What we end up with is a nice dark yellow, a mustard color. And you can see how that color looks like dark yellow and that color looks like green. Okay, so that is how you mix your colors. So then I've got my dark yellow for the last part here. So after you're done with the color, get the color wheel, find out what the next one is, which is green. Paint it in. Just normal green color. Then mix it with the white for the light green. And then you're going to find the opposite color by using the color wheel. You can use a pencil as a pivot to figure out which one is the opposite color. In this case it's red, and I just mix it in with the green. And fill it in, paint it in nice and neat. Then next one is blue. Paint in the blue without any mixing. Wash out that white, scrape it away with a paper towel. Get a nice light blue. And then find the opposite of blue, which is orange. Mix in some orange into the blue. And paint a nice dark blue. This looks like a midnight blue now. So after I get done with the blue, I've got blue mixed in with my orange. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skip over to the orange because I've already got dark orange because the blue is still mixed. Then I'm going to wipe that away, get regular orange, then I'm just going to go ahead and wipe out the white, mix in the orange with the white to make the light orange, and paint it in. Okay, now the next color is going to be purple, and this is going to be the trickiest one for us because, as you can see, purple is not in our palette, so we have to actually mix it. We're going to mix blue and red to get the regular purple. Then you're going to mix the blue and the red and the white to get light purple, And then you're going to mix the blue and the red and the yellow to get dark purple. This is going to be pretty tricky, and you and your partner should do this together so that you can both work on it together. But as long as you have 3 different shades of purple, one that's light, one that's medium, and one that's dark, then you've done the purple correctly. And the next color is red. Now red's kind of fun when you put the red down just like you normally would, but when you mix it with the white, it turns into its own color. It turns into pink. And red is the only one where when you mix it with white, it gets its own color called pink. Then mix in the green to darken it. And there you have it, your very own color wheel that you made.